Hi there, Natalie with you today with a new process video for Scrapbook Nerd. And today I'm going to show you a layout that is all about the flowers, and this week's challenge is all about the flowers. So I'm going to use the Gingham Gardens collection from my mind's eye, and I love florals, and these florals are so beautiful that I am actually going to create a very simple layout just to highlight them. So I went out of camera, and usually I use a lot of cut files, and this cut file again is from my friend Ina from Handipaper, and I love a wreath, and I think because I want to highlight the flowers, I want to create something really subtle for the background, and the wreath is going to provide the leaves already, so all the florals are going to stand out. So I'm just making sure that I have this idea down packed before I start working on it. And I have this picture of my daughter. This is the first picture of the year, and I took them out for a walk, my kids, and I took a few pictures of them, and I really love this picture. So you're gonna see that I am pulling the florals just to that I know that it's gonna look good on this layout. And like I said, the wreath already and those leaves, it's all the leaves that I'm gonna add on this layout. I'm not gonna add any more. I'm gonna actually use lots of florals. So what I'm going to do for the background, as always, I'm going to add a little bit of color. So I am pulling DIstress Oxide, and you see the little card that I have there, that's from the PL cards set that comes in this collection, and I'm just using it to pull out colors of DIstress Oxides. And I'm going to use, actually, I wrote down the list: tumbled glass, broken china, fossilized amber, scattered straw, shabby shutters, tater rose, tea dye, and worn lipstick. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the colors to pretty much go around in a circle, kind of forming the wreath. So you're gonna see that I'm using blending brushes, and these brushes actually are makeup brushes. I got them as a perk. I think it was a Sephora, I can remember. I went to buy a present and they gave me those as extras, and I kept them. I had them in my drawer for quite a bit until I saw somebody use them on, not these ones, but somebody used makeup brushes to blend ink on cards, and I was like, oh my god, I have a set, so I'm using them. So all I'm doing is I'm picking up colors, and again, I'm just gonna start picking up the color with my brush and go in a circular motion on my cardstock, and I'm using Basil's marshmallow cardstock, and you're gonna see that I'm gonna form a circle. I'm gonna add a little bit extra just because I know I'm gonna bulk up, with the flowers. It's gonna take some extra space, and also because of the leaves. So all I'm doing right now is just blending some color. You're gonna see that I'm gonna put it close to each other, but not on top of each other. I don't want to muddle the colors. Now that I have the bases, I'm gonna actually create the watercolor. So I went a little bit on the opposite side of what usually is created. So all I'm doing is I'm spraying a little bit of water. I'm misting water onto a piece of acrylic, and then I'm gonna go on top of the DIstress Oxide, and then just as soon as I put the water, it's gonna reactivate the DIstress Oxide, and it's gonna create watercolor. So what it's gonna do is just gonna dilute it and move it around. And because I'm controlling the amount of water, my paper is gonna curl very little. So you're gonna see that I missed my plastic or a piece of acrylic, whatever you have, and then I'm gonna turn it, put it on top of the distress ink, and just move it around. And as soon as the water touches the ink, it activates and makes it like really fluid. So I'm able to move it as watercolor. And because I remember what I said, when I put the colors, I didn't put them on top of each other. I'm not gonna create brown. It's gonna stay in the little puddles of color, but it's gonna have the look of watercolor. So all I'm doing right now is just keep diluting the ink and just adding splatters, because I personally like them. And you're gonna see, like I said, very simple. This is the reverse of what you usually see. We dilute the ink and then we add it, but I wanted to try something to try to avoid a lot of the buckle, and because I want a really soft background. And you're gonna see there's gonna be a really soft background, and I had this idea in mind for a while. You're gonna need a good cardstock though. You're gonna need either a heavy cardstock, Vicky's Button foundation paper, or this is marshmallow cardstock. Don't use it on regular cardstock unless you have added gesso, just because the water, even a little bit of water and regular cardstock, is gonna buckle, and the ink is gonna react different. The ink is just gonna sit right away in the paper. But on this type of paper, in this case, this is heavy cardstock, 110 pounds, or the Vicky Button foundation paper. It has a bit of a coating, so it kind of the ink stays a little bit, I'm gonna say, fresh on top of the paper, so you're able to create this effect. And again, I'm just continuing adding some splatters. I just just want to create that movement. You're gonna see that when I add the splatter, I dry it right away, and that's just gonna help me control the amount of water that I'm adding. And also when you add water to DIstress Oxides, the water kind of eats away the color, so it kind of creates a little bit of a bleach look, or it creates those little rims of the droplets, and I love that. So I'm just adding splatters. You're gonna see that I add a little bit more green. I'm just stamping the ink on my piece of plastic, diluting it with some water, and then just adding splatters, and then I dry the extra water right away, because like I said, it's my way of preventing buckling. And there's very little buckling on this page. I think that, you know, going the reverse watercolor actually work for what I have in mind, and work great in this page. So try it. Like I said, try it on a heavy cardstock if you can afford to. If not, if you're gonna use regular cardstock, add a little bit of yeso underneath, just to help you with the resist and help you move the color like the way it's working on this paper. So again, I'm adding splatters. I'm gonna set it a little bit aside, and I need to add a little bit more blue, just because there's a little area, and I wanna, you know, add a little bit more. And you're gonna see that I'm adding it when I put the picture. I know my picture is gonna be on the left hand side of the layout, so not a lot of the blue is gonna be covered, so I'm actually gonna add extra once I put the paper down. And all I'm doing right now is I'm actually using this is called Shimmering Lights, and it's a palette from Prima, and it was available at the shop. I don't know if Joy has it. And all I'm doing is diluting a few of the shades of the gold, and I'm just gonna add splatters throughout the circle that I created. If you see it, it's not a complete circle, but it has that wreath shape or circular shape, and I'm just gonna add a few splatters of gold. And now I'm gonna set it aside to dry for a little bit. Because I'm soaking up the extra or the excess water, it takes no time to dry. Now once it's dry, you're gonna see that I'm gonna bring the leaf, I'm gonna put the picture. I love what this looks like. But then I realized that I actually created my circle a little bit towards the bottom of the page. So to solve this and to frame the layout and make everything stand out, I'm actually gonna trim around a quarter of an inch from each one of the sides. In this case, I'm gonna cut a half an inch from the top, and that's gonna balance my page. It's gonna make it more center. So like I said, a quarter of an inch from all the sides, and then I'm gonna cut a frame from this paper. I love this paper. It has like a sage, what do you call it, Gingham pattern. So I'm just gonna cut it. It's a 1 3/8, but it's a frame, and I'm just gonna glue my layout or my background on it, and it's just gonna center the page. All I'm doing right now is just distressing the edges a little bit. I have a little bit of long nails right now, so I'm able to curl the edges with my nail. Once that's in place, that's pretty much on my background. All I'm gonna do is place the wreath in the center, and then I'm just gonna add a few drops of glue just to keep the leaf in place, not all over, just in certain areas, like I said, just to keep the wreath in place, and so that I can lift it and add papers. So now I'm gonna start working on adding a few papers on to the page, and I want to frame the picture. And I pull out the 6x8 paper pad, and I'm going with this kind of bluish corn blue. I don't know, it's a beautiful tone of blue. So I'm just gonna frame the picture with that. Once I frame it, I'm actually gonna add some foam adhesive behind it, and then I started looking into the Project Life cards. I got them from the shop too, just because I do a lot of traveler's notebook work. In my traveler's notebook, I use a ring traveler's notebook, so I'm able to use a Project Life cards in it, so I love it. So I got these cards. I just love the colors. Perfect. Actually, you know what? I really love this collection, even though it has some animals, and I'm not a fan of animals. I love how this turned out. So I pull out one of the cards that I know I'm not gonna use because it had a lamb at the front, and but the B-side had that Gingham pattern, but in a more of a sagey tone, more towards that brownish tone that you see there. And then I'm actually gonna use this paper. It has like a, what do you call it, a tooth, I can't remember what the print is, but it looks like a tweed, but it's in a pink, and there's the pink and the flowers. So I just cut a 3x4 card. I'm gonna place them underneath the wreath, and that's what I said. I'm not gluing the wreath completely onto the page. I just added a few drops, so I'm able to lift some of the the wreath so that it looks like it's going in between the papers. So all I'm doing right now is just gluing the little 3x4 pieces of paper that I had. I distressed the edges a bit, and like I said, I added some foam adhesive underneath the picture so that it creates a little bit of a lift, and that's just gonna help me with the dimension, because you're gonna see the papers at the bottom, then you see the wreath going through it, and then you see the picture. Now here's where I said I added a little bit more blue, because I pretty much cover all the blue ink that I applied when I added the paper. So all I'm doing is using the brush, adding a little bit more blue to the side of the papers. I'm gonna dilute some of the ink and add some splatters just to bring the blue all around the page, and that's about it. And again, because I'm drying all the excess water, I'm able to work pretty much right away. And because it's very little that I'm applying, using a brush actually is a great way to add mixed media without having to wait for a lot of it to dry, because the ink sets quite fast. So now that I'm ready, I'm actually gonna start working on some of the flowers for this layout, which is gonna be the focus of this. And I found this big cluster of flowers in the ephemera pack, and then I went ahead and started cutting the big paper that comes with all the flowers, but they were too big. So instead, I'm gonna fussy cut the 6x8 paper. There's one that has this beautiful flower corners, so I fussy cut them out of the paper, and then I'm gonna use the flowers to create the diagonal look that you're gonna see in the picture. So I'm gonna create two big clusters of florals right at diagonal position on my picture. So you're gonna see that right now. I'm just placing them. I'm gonna take it off camera, not take it off camera, I just took it off the video, and all I did is add some pieces of foam adhesive behind it just to create a little bit of a lift and the movement. And I'm just playing with some pieces. I thought about bringing extra leaves, but like I said, I don't think I need to. I already have the wreath at the back, so that's gonna take care of all the leaves that I'm gonna add. I want to actually add all these florals. So once I have my little corner of the flowers behind the picture, I also had the ephemera piece. All I did to the ephemera piece is cut a little bit of the wide offset that comes in the ephemera, just to don't have that much white, just to make it more to look more like the fussy cut flowers. All I'm doing right now is just adding some accents. I found this one that says find joy in the journey, and that's gonna become my title, and it's a little banner. And I'm gonna bring a few circles. I found this XO and this yes in the ephemera pack, and also on the planner stickers which I got. I added a little heart at the bottom in the mustard color, and that comes from the chipboard stickers. I'm gonna add a big piece of ephemera towards to balance the picture. So on the right of the picture, I added some foam adhesive behind it. I'm actually gonna prop that little banner that's gonna become my title, and I had cut another corner of that 6x8 paper. I'm just gonna fussy cut a few flowers from it and just kind of bulk up that cluster of flowers that I have there. I'm gonna pull out the B chipboard that is from the collection, and I'm gonna use it just to accent. And one of the things that I'm gonna bring is, you're gonna see I'm gonna bring circles into this layout, some circle stickers. I'm gonna bring some extra black, and that's what I brought that B at the top, just because I have that yes sticker that is black. So I'm gonna bring a few more accents of that, because like I said, I want the flowers to stand out. I'm gonna keep it very simple. I added a few more stickers from the planner sheets, and also I cut one of the tags that comes in the collection. It has an XO at the bottom, so I fussy cut the XO part to make it look like a banner, and I'm actually gonna glue it underneath the cluster of flowers that you see there. I'm gonna add another sticker that says date right next to the yes circle below the picture, and after that, all I'm gonna do is add a few more I don't think I add more stickers. I add more actually enamel dots, just to continue the circular the circular embellishment look. And that's about it. I added my lines with journal at the bottom of the page. You're not gonna see it because the battery died actually on the camera right at the end, but that's about it. I love how this turned out. It was very simple. Like I said, I had the idea for the background just from making cards. I think I just, I know that I can add the ink and then move it around. So I wanted to try it on the layout, and I love how this turned out. It's a really soft background, which is perfect for the flowers. Like I said, this week the challenge is all about flowers. So throughout the week, the entire DT has been working projects that have a lot of floral motifs in it, and this is my take of the challenge. So I hope you actually join in the challenge. Remember, you have a chance to win a gift certificate to the shop if you choose to share your project with us. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. You can check the entire collection at the shop. Thank you so much for joining me, guys, and I hope to see you soon. Take care.